as a what the fuck was that? Let's talk about Batgirl for a second. And Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Let's start with Warner Brothers. We've talked about Warner Brothers ad nauseum before they were bought by Discovery. Yeah. And the Snyderverse thing and everything else. Now we have the cancellation of Batgirl at $70 to $100 million.
Mm-hmm.
We have people that are like, that sucks, but they still haven't canceled The Flash.
Oh, they did.
Did they actually? Did they just shit can that?
No.
Sorry, no. The movie, the Ezra Miller Flash.
Sorry, the TV series.
They're ending the CW Flash. They are not canceling it. They are ending the CW Flash with a truncated season, which is kind of cancellation. But no, Ezra Miller's The Flash. They haven't canceled that yet with all of his actual problems and the crap they've taken up to this point. And now they've just decided that Batgirl is so terrible they couldn't possibly release it. And now, of course, my question is, you released the Suicide Squad twice.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell me Batgirl is so terrible that you literally can't even dump it on HBO Max. No, I find that incredibly hard to believe.
This is a message moment. This is the new guy coming in and going,
dude, that's $100 million message.
Yeah, I know. And
that is insane. That's not what you do. You find a Midland. You don't shit can a major property at $100 million. I mean, yeah, that's a message, but holy shit.
Did I say it was smart? I mean,
no, you did not say it was smart.
So, I mean, it's a change of guard.
Well, it's not smart. It's funny, it's WB, but now it's WB under new management. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Yeah. At least in terms of what the fuck are you doing?
Sure. Here's the thing. I'm actually a little frustrated and angry by this because they brought Michael Keaton back. He's in that film,
right?
In Batgirl, and I was really excited for that.
Well, didn't they also say no, because now. And yes, I was excited for that too. It's like, no matter, it would have been cool. It would have been a one-off. I literally cannot believe it's that. Yeah. I can't believe it is that terrible.
Well,
but now we're getting Batfleck back for the Flash, but also Aquaman 2. Is that, or he's coming? There's something Aquaman 2. So I have never had a problem with Batfleck, but this feels like I don't know what is going on.
My favorite thing is I read an article today, and I thought the part that stood out was that I guess the investors were really concerned about the way things are going, as they should be.
Well, yeah.
And apparently they were told, everybody, don't worry, we have a 10-year plan.
Oh my God.
And it's like, okay, well, when does the plan start? Are you, because they in a way they're saying, we want to take everything back to ground zero. Okay, well, that's fine, but you've got how many films? Are you just going to cancel everything and be like,
I would like to point out, because somebody pointed out that, and I'm going to defend this movie in a second. One of our fellow critics pointed out, we were talking about this in the screening the other night, the New Mutants hit theaters.
Yeah.
And people hated it. I personally enjoy the New Mutants for what it is and what it should have been, and because it kind of got lost in that whole Fox Disney thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think if it had been allowed to be what it was meant to be, it would have been better than it was.
But
it
did not cost $100 million and feature Michael Keaton.
No.
I can't believe you cannot fix that.
There's another
and
element.
At least put it on streaming.
There was another element to this that goes even deeper. It's a female-led film.
Wonder Woman, Black Widow. Terminator. I don't like that argument.
No, but I'm just saying. But the optics of it is even worse.
Okay. So yes, the optics of it are terrible. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they the optics of canceling this
right
over the Flash, let's say, are it's terrible.
Literally. If the Flash cost $250 million and they canceled it tomorrow, people would be like, "Well, yeah, we kind of see that." And literally, that would pretty much be, "Yeah, we kind of see that." They could go, "Yeah, it's $250 million, but we really can't. We can't." And people would be like, "Yeah, we see that."
Yeah.
You might not like it, but you really can't argue against it. It's like this. It's like, is anybody outside of the boardroom at Warner Discovery actually supportive of this?
They have to be, otherwise they're probably fired.
No, outside of the boardroom. Nobody outside of the boardroom.
No. Somebody maybe. I don't know who.
I don't know who. I cannot believe that with the I cannot believe you can't salvage an hour and 40-minute cut of a film that is at least worthy enough to hit streaming.
I don't honestly think it has anything to do with
quality. So you think those little leaked stories about the terrible test screenings are bogus? Because that's the story. The test screenings were so terrible that it was irredeemable is the word that I saw. And it's like I can't believe it. Sony released Morbius in theaters twice.
I was going to say I've seen plenty of films. No, I don't. I think that this is just somebody who's new sheriff in town. I'm not saying that the film was a masterpiece.
No,
obviously I haven't seen it, but I imagine that there are lots of films that would tested very poorly with audiences that were actually really good. So I don't necessarily trust the studio's judgment, and Warner Brothers hasn't exactly had the best judgment in general.
Warner Brothers hasn't had the best judgment in general. That is also true.
But no, I don't think that. There's also been the argument that it's they're committed to theatrical releases, and it just wasn't big enough for theatrical release. And they've got to reestablish themselves as rather than thinking HBO Max first, they've got to think theater first.
Well, and that's fine. That's fine moving forward. Yeah, but
sure.
But it's like, but dude, apparently that's why I don't run a major film studio.
Let's look at it from a distance. So they think Discovery Plus is going to make them a lot of money, and that HBO Max will make them money, and they can have these two separate entities and make. Well, you know what? There's a reason why Disney is letting R-rated films on Disney Plus. It's because they couldn't sell enough bundles.
Right. For Hulu, to include Hulu, yeah.
To include Hulu. And so now they're starting to kind of merge. They're realizing there was too many, and why would you buy Discovery Plus?
Okay.
I can't even give you
I can justify it because there's a subscription to Discovery Plus in my household. It's not mine. But there are shows that if you're of a certain viewing arena, there are programs that are only streamable on Discovery Plus.
But is it as like do you we can, to me, well, then if you put it with HBO Max, raise it $2 or whatever, isn't that better?
I would agree. It just becomes a sub channel, like the AMC Plus has the Shudder and the IFC. And sure, do it that way. That makes complete and total sense to me, and that might be the way it winds up. But they could just make Discovery Plus. But with so it would be Discovery and HBO, and then that's your split inside. So, but I don't, but they, or it could be HBO Max with Discovery underneath. It depends on which corporate, which one has the leverage to actually get that branding top billing.
Who has the National Geographic? Is that?
Is that under Discovery? Is that under Discovery Plus? No, that's under.
No, is it Disney?
It is. It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah. So
Nat Geo's under Disney Plus.
Yeah. So I don't see why
HBO Max can't have. Well, because Discovery Plus has history, Animal Planet, science. It's got all of those cable channel bundles. So there's a lot more breakout than just Nat Geo. You know what I mean? So that Discovery Plus is a little more expansive in the way they categorize. So that might be problematic until someone actually takes a deep dive in it. So again, it might be easier to have Discovery Plus and drop HBO Max in it. But again, if those companies split now, then you have to split those services again. So it becomes that corporate leverage thing.
The question also becomes: is HBO Max going to lose what makes it HBO?
Right.
I don't know.
Are
they going to? How many of the planned Game of Thrones spinoffs are going to actually happen now? How many of anything of these things that have been proposed? Is any of it actually going to happen? And I don't know.
I mean, unless they're going to save HBO Max for serial as opposed to cinema, in which case it kind of makes sense. But I don't know.
But then where do you put your films when they go to streaming?
I don't know. Unless you have HBO Max series and HBO Max cinema, you could actually have two breakouts like that. You could have a cinema category under, but again, that's a deep dive that they're going to have to do. And like I said, right now, I think it's corporate job. Does Warner Brothers own Discovery or does Discovery own Warner Brothers? Because right now it's Warner Brothers Discovery is the name of the thing, but that
Discovery is kind of dictating.
So there's all this corporate brand leveraging as well. But again, to go back to, I mean, there's brand leveraging and then there's throwing away $100 million.
Yeah.
And that again, I keep hearing, they're gonna take it as a tax write-off, and that way they can't ever release it. And it's like, that I mean, right there, not only are you going, this film's terrible, we can't release it, and fans complaining about it and going, not only do we think this film's terrible, but we're going to take the tax write-off and make sure that never, ever, 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 ever are you fans that thought you might want to see it be able to see it. That's thumbing your nose at the fans as well. That's insult to injury.
That's Fantastic Four.
That is, it's on my shelf. So
and that is part of my point on this.
But to be fair, Corman's Fantastic Four was never meant to be released. It was meant to keep rights.
Yes, but the cast didn't know that.
That's a separate. But again, but that wasn't someone coming in at the last hour going, nah.
But I don't think they were ever approached that from an honest place. But they hired people to make a film that thought they were really going to make this massive film, and then anyway. But yes, that's the studio behind the scenes. But that was only like what? There was a low budget.
It's $2 million.
Yeah, I mean,
$2 million in 1993 money.
Yeah.
So that's like what, $10 million today?
Maybe.
They might have. Did they spend that much on Marcel?
Probably not. No.
Probably not.
No. I'm pretty sure they didn't. But I don't know. But I don't know what they're thinking. I would have gone into it. I don't care about test audiences. There's plenty of stuff that I like that didn't test well, or there's plenty of stuff that was better before it went into test audiences and they messed with it, or there's a lot of things. But I mean, I would like to think in this day and age that somebody somewhere has at least a work print that gets leaked
Oh,
So
it's gonna, or at least scenes. You're gonna see at least 1 minute long scene in the next 14 days. Is gonna leak.
I would just, something out there.
Yeah. Because as soon as the rumblings started, backups started being made.
I'm sure.
It. You know it happened because you can't stop it. It'll be watermarked. It'll be grotesque looking because it won't be done. But you'll see what it is, and eventually we will see what it is or what it was in some way, shape, or form. And I personally look forward to it because again, I've as we've been doing for the last 15 minutes, we've been poo-pooing Warner's efforts, but I'm always willing to watch the movie first. Yeah. But now we're being denied that. We're just being told to, the studio that's telling us this film is so bad is the one that told us that Birds of Prey and the Suicide Squad were all great.
I like Birds of Prey.
Oh, that movie was trash. But you see my point. It's like your track record is not sterling.
No,
Warner. So I don't know, but yeah, I had to vent and see where you were
if
in the great really Warner saga, Batgirl saga.
If they want to really piss me off, they can do one of two things.
Ooh, what can they do?
Cancel the Mad Max.
Oh, the Furiosa?
Furiosa.
Right.
Or decide they don't do the second half of Dune.
I don't think they can get away with Dune. They'll cancel Mad Max first. I don't think, because Dune was an Oscar movie. And so I don't think they'll cancel that. Whereas Mad Max is just a fan base movie. And they can get away with that, but they're not gonna shy away from Oscars. They're just not gonna do it. So my money, if one of those two goes away, it's gonna be Furiosa, not Dune.
And I will be very upset.
I would be more upset if they cancel, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I would be more upset if they canceled Dune than Furiosa, but I would like to see Furiosa. As much as I was unhappy with Dune 1 because I didn't have part 2, I would like to see part 2 to see if I like part 1 more. So yeah, that's it. So what the fuck, Warner Brothers / Discovery with Batgirl. That's where that was. So that's it. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to cut it right there.